At the wedding, the man accidentally spilled red wine on his wife's wedding dress. Though the girl was filled with anger, she held it back to keep the peace. But this single drop of red wine not only ruined their marriage but ultimately cost both of them their lives. The wedding ended with blessings from relatives and friends. But when they arrived at their new home, the girl found the house completely empty. Staring at the vacant room, the man knelt down and began kneading clay. The girl was overwhelmed with disappointment and bowed her head to wipe the wine stain on her chest. Suddenly, the man stood up and told her to admire his masterpiece. He had actually made a large bed by hand with clay. The girl perked up instantly, immediately fetching 2 roses to adorn the head of the bed. In the days that followed, the two worked together, quickly crafting a sofa, a table, and a TV out of clay. Their small home gradually took shape. The man started dreaming of having a child, but the girl hesitated. She worried that pregnancy would ruin her figure. Seeing her attitude, the man couldn't help but feel dejected. To consider her husband's feelings, the girl had a sudden idea. She ran to the crib and started shaping clay, soon molding a little dog. She wanted the puppy to stand in for a child temporarily, and the man was somewhat satisfied with this arrangement. Their life was fairly harmonious, but married life wasn't as sweet as imagined. Every time her husband watched sports events, he would become completely absorbed, ignoring whatever the girl said beside him. To ease the tension between them, the girl suggested a relaxing trip to the beach, but the man refused outright, saying they didn't have enough money to accommodate his wife. He proposed going camping in the forest instead, yet the girl worried about the dangers of camping. The man thought staying at home was the safest option. Upon hearing this, the girl snapped entirely. She swept all the things off the table and bowed her head again to wipe the wine stain on her chest, perhaps realizing he had been too perfunctory. The man gently hugged the girl to comfort her. The girl was full of grievances but had no choice but to accept it helplessly. In the days after, all the housework fell on the girl's shoulders. The puppy brought over its collar, wanting mom and dad to take it out to play. The girl was busy cooking, so she called for her husband to take the dog out, but the man was immersed in his game, completely tuning her out. No matter how loudly the girl shouted, he didn't move an inch. Finally, the girl couldn't stand it anymore. She stepped forward and turned off the TV abruptly. The man flew into a rage. Instantly he kicked the puppy, turning it back into a clay form, then used the remaining material to make an even smaller TV. The girl returned to the bedroom heartbroken, continuing to wipe the wine stain on her chest. The man soon realized his mistake and took the initiative to apologize to the girl. Seeing she was still cleaning the stain, he thoughtfully took out a small piece of clay and mended the spot on the wedding dress perfectly. Watching the dress return to its original state, the girl smiled for the first time in a long while, but her husband's next move made her utterly unable to bear it any longer.